Sue, how are you, hon?
Good.
Good
How
to
are
see
you,
you.
Rich?
Great to see you. Thanks for
Same
coming
here.
in. Excited about today.
Yes, sure.
Talking to the king.
Finally got my chance.
What's going on? How you been?
Good, good.
Good. How's your daughter?
Daughter's good. Just came back from family weekend in Binghamton. She's a freshman. The other one's a senior already.
Where's she?
At New Paltz.
New Paltz. Like it or?
They both love it. Both doing good.
Yeah. Once you go to New Paltz, what's this, a 14?
So my older one, right? Yes, it's her senior year. So she's actually going to be student teaching next semester, and then looking for a full-time job while she gets her master's.
Oh, she's looking to be a teacher.
She's going for art education, and she wants to do special needs masters.
Oh, there's a lot of people getting into that.
Yeah,
right now.
she does it now. She works part-time with that.
It's a hard job, right?
It
My niece
is.
does that.
But she loves kids like me.
That's wow.
She has a good heart. And the little one is a freshman, wants to do something with child psychology or sociology. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Got a
social
family
work.
that loves kids.
Yep.
That's awesome. We don't like kids in my family. So- no, I love kids.
Oh, that's funny.
Little rugrats running around. So, yeah. Where'd you grow up, Sue?
Long Beach.
Wow. That must be an interesting place to grow up.
Loved it. Loved it. And I still live there. Or I live there again, I should say.
You must have been at Chauncey's a lot back in the day.
I got into Chauncey's underage.
Yeah.
Everyone always thought I was older.
What was the other? There was two of them there, right? It was
Oh,
Chauncey's
there
and
was Speaks and
Speaks was the other one.
Island Park. Chauncey's, there was...
Island Park was there too?
Island Park was very popular.
I thought that was in Ocean. Not Ocean. I thought that was in
You think in Oceanside?
Oceanside.
Oh,
yeah.
actually, Speaks may have been. There's been so many changes. Channel 80 was Island.
Channel 80
Channel
was
80 was
there.
Island Park.
It was Island Park, right? Yeah.
Right.
What else was
But
it?
I didn't really drink, so I didn't go to the bars that often.
Okay.
But
Was-
Chauncey's was the big one.
Chauncey's was, yeah,
Back
we
in the
used, the
day
only
when I
reason
was
I
in
went to Chauncey's was because we used to play hockey in Long Beach Arena.
Oh, yeah.
And when I played, we used to play there every Friday or Saturday night. We would have a game there, and after the game we would shoot over to Chauncey's.
Did you ever go to Nolan's?
Yes, pretty sure I've been to Nolan's.
That's still there, surprisingly.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That was a smaller bar, though,
It
right?
is very
yeah.
small, but very popular.
Yeah, that was, and that was right when you came in.
Yes, in the east end of Long Beach.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chauncey's was all the way down west, and now those are condos where Chauncey's was.
that's right. Yes, I saw that. It's pretty. It's sad
Nice
though,
ones.
but it's sad that because Chauncey's was a
Oh, it was a landmark.
yeah. It was. Then the other one was in Astoria.
I didn't know about that
Yeah,
one.
I'm pretty sure there was a Chauncey's in Astoria also. It was on. Pretty sure it was named Chauncey's. It was on 38th Street and Broadway.
Oh, okay.
It was a bar though. It was a small bar.
Yeah,
was,
never
yeah.
went there.
No, okay, that was pretty cool. All right, so you grew up in Long Beach. Where'd you go to school? Long Beach.
I went to Long Beach High School, yes.
Okay.
And I went to SUNY Stony Brook for
Okay.
my undergrad.
What you?
I majored in social science interdisciplinary, which was a lot of psychology, sociology,
We talked about
philosophy.
We talked about social science last week. I had a
Oh, really?
police officer, retired detective police officer on, and we were saying that social science was to get all our grades up in, in the academy so we could pass.
And then I did a minor in child and family studies.
Okay. And how'd you get into real estate then?
Well, it's funny. I was working in infant toddler daycare,
Okay.
and a friend of mine was looking for a house, so I used to go to the gym in Levittown where she was looking. So I started driving around, giving her addresses when I saw signs, and then I went with her a couple of times to look at some houses, and I couldn't believe the realtor was like just such a downer,
That's funny.
And a cousin of mine also had done real estate, and it's just something I said, you know what, I think I want to do this. I want to help people find their houses, and so I did it part-time for a while, and it was just hard because I got busier,
Sure.
and I switched to full-time.
Okay.
So I got my license in 93, the end
Oh
of
my God, 93. Oh, you got it 10 years more than me. Wow.
So different then.
Much different, right? What some of the differences between? Let's talk about that real quick.
So there was no internet stuff there. We had listing
Books,
We
yeah.
you took one picture of the house and you had to wait like 2 weeks for the listing book to come out. And it was like this really thick book, and it was black and white, and it was by town and price, and sometimes by the time it would come out in the book, the houses would be sold. So it was really interesting. There were no interior photos. We had these little dumb computers. I think they actually called them that, dumb computers.
Yep.
And everything would print out. Yeah, we had to tear off the sides. We had to sit in the office. Oh, I'm waiting for a client. Like 2-3 hours would go by, and they don't show up, or you do an open house and not know who's coming. And then we got the pagers. I was all excited. Oh, I got a beeper now, you know. So I'd be on my way to a house and get a page and have to stop and go to phone booths. So
That's so
it sounds
crazy.
so ancient. I feel old talking about it. But agents don't realize now what they have. Like if someone's late, they just text them, or I'm going to be late, or I'm not showing up. There's no more wasting time
That's
or
right.
sitting in the office anymore. And not knowing if somene's showing up.
When
It's
did
a
the
whole
books?
different world.
When did the books get out? 2003, 2004.
To be honest, I'm not sure.
I think it was like the early 2000s where they went out. Because I remember,
I should have kept
no,
one.
90s. I think I have one.
Oh, really?
But I have one from when I bought a house upstate.
Okay.
Not upstate, in Putnam, Brewster, my first townhome. And the realtor, because you weren't allowed to let them leave the office.
Right. I had to keep
And
it
my
in the office.
realtor, he's like, "Yeah, you're a cool dude, take it," and gave it to me. I think he was like a cop buff. He liked cops, and he gave me the book. And I think it's still in my house. I gotta find it. Be
Yeah, I
interesting.
wish I had one just
Probably-
to show people.
It's probably stocked away somewhere in my basement. I'm gonna go look for it one night and see if I can come up with it. But it was interesting. It showed, you're right. It had the one picture of the house, and then it had some of them coming soon, like the photos or whatever. You know,
It was pretty funny,
it
all
was-
black and white. And then also, we had no GPS, right? So I had like every Hagstrom book in my car
That's
for every
right.
town. I'd have to map out like where. So I don't even know how we did it, to be honest.
and that's 30 years ago.
Yeah, and I look back, I'm like, how did I find these places? How did I, you know? But I do remember sitting in the car, pulling over, pulling out my Hagstrom
Yeah,
map.
yeah, of course. That's right. Wow. Imagine being a limo driver back then.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
forget
shit.
it.
Imagine how hard that would have been. You would have to know the area.
Very.
I was a cop in those days. And in the Bronx, they didn't have numbered streets. They were all named streets.
That
So it
must
was
have been hard.
tough. Yeah, you got to learn it. You got to learn the area. So you got to constantly drive and you get to know the area. But as a realtor, that must be tough because I guess you're so local then at that
Well,
point.
right, yeah. You start to learn the areas pretty quickly.
But as a realtor, if you're living in Long Beach, most likely you're working in Long Beach too.
Yes. Well, listen,
then.
there are some agents that work in Long Beach and they won't leave Long Beach, you know.
Correct. That's what I'm talking
But
about.
I
Long
was
Beach.
always the one that would go everywhere.
Okay.
So that never stopped me.
What's his name? The guy that owned, great guy. He's a Long Beach guy.
Joseph Ponte?
I don't know. I can't think of his name. Really good guy. He was
Joe Sonona?
not Joe Sonona. Joe's a good guy too, though. Shit, it's gonna come to me. He was right
Topper? Is Top-
Engel and I think he was with Engel
Oh,
and Volker.
oh,
He was a Long Beach guy that I know. You know what I'm talking about? The skinny guy. Really good guy.
No, I
It's
don't
gonna
think
come
so.
to me. It doesn't matter. But very nice guy. He's the only Long Beach broker I knew back in the day. That was, okay.
wow.
Because you had a couple of, knuckleheads over there back in the day.
It's definitely different. It's a
Yeah,
different world.
yeah.
People showing up in shorts on their bicycle to show.
It was
show
different.
condos, yeah.
Keeping everything to themselves and all of that out there. It was an interesting place to work back in the day. So you end up you're working at Coldwell at the time
Yes,
in Long Beach,
in actually East Meadow.
in East Meadow.
Because when I started real estate, I was working in daycare in North Merrick. And then when I took the class and got the recommendations, Coldwell at the time was, a name brand. So I went to their East Meadow office.
Where'd
And then
you-
I moved to Belmore eventually.
You went to the Belmont. Where'd you do your licensing?
It was so long ago, Rich.
Oh, okay. Did they still have the same thing, right? It was
Yeah, it was an in-person class.
40 hours.
It was, yes,
Because I took the 40.
It was 40, and then when I went for my broker's license, I had to do the
20
gap course, 35 hours.
35
yeah,
hours,
30
that's
something
right.
hours after that.
And now it's,
77.
and the gap,
Well, I think it's 35 now.
still 35, right? So it's
Yeah, I think I
100 and
did-
something
I
hours
think I
now.
did 40 and then 30, but now I'm pretty sure the gap is 35.
I thought it was 40, 35
Yeah.
when I took it.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. When I did the broker one, it was 35 hours. It was,
And that was probably about 15 years ago.
yeah. And we were grandfathered in. With the,
I missed that by 7 months.
did you really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But now it doesn't matter because nobody's grandfathered.
Yeah, nobody's
anymore.
grandfathered in. But I remember everybody, flying over to get their
To
class
take the
together.
class.
You
I
remember
remember
that?
that too. Oh,
That
yeah,
was
it was like a
hysterical.
frenzy.
Yeah, it was a big friend. I got in. He worked with us too. He was my instructor there. He was in Keller Williams, Massapequa.
Okay.
That was the instructor for live ball back in the day. He taught us. Great guy. He was a Remax guy. Then he went over to Keller when they did the merge. So you left You went from Caldwell to Keller.
I was Coldwell 22 and a half years and just went over to Keller to hear about it. Like I said, I already knew the reputation. So, and I was pretty much done with Coldwell at that point. Keller was the only company that I felt comfortable telling my clients I was going to.
Okay.
Because Coldwell did have excellent training and everything, but Keller Williams blows it away.
Okay.
And that was a big difference for
Well,
me.
back
So it was
then.
like it was a step up.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do a lateral move and go to a Douglas Elliman from there or something like that. But Keller definitely had a lot more to offer.
Okay. And that was in what year?
2016.
2016. And then you came over right when the merger.
It was right after it became Keller Williams. I was actually part of, so it was Keller Williams when I came over, and I was part of choosing the name for that market center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a vote. Michael Brand had us take a vote on the name, threw some names in the hat.
Laura Byron
we
was
got-
the team
Right,
leader there.
yes.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
I love her to death.
She's
yeah,
great.
she's
So
awesome.
between Lauren and Mike, it was like a no-brainer.
And then Greg, you had
Yeah, Greg was the operating principal.
back then. And
I've been broker of record for that market center for going on 7 years.
when did I take it over?
About 2 years ago.
No, more than that.
Is it more than that already? Time flies.
It's
It
probably
just
5
flies.
years now. I think 4 or 5 years. I went into there and took that over. That was I like that. I love that office. It was always a great office.
It's a better office now, our new location in Massapequa.
Yeah, it's a great location. When did they make that move? Because that was before
That was
me.
almost 6 years ago.
Okay.
September was the anniversary. So I actually helped them find that place because I do commercial real estate as well. So I worked with the owner, with them to get everything going. And it was kind of built to suit.
You really took advantage of us there. So, I'm messing around. It's a great place. The only thing I hate about that place is the freaking elevator with that stupid thing in it.
We took him out.
I know,
He's
thank God.
gone.
Jeez, that thing was freaking terrified me the first time I saw
It
that.
terrified a few people. It was fun. It was funny at first, but
Yeah, it was.
it got old.
It did. It was crazy. So, and then you decided you got into sales, and then you decided to become a broker.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, well,
We
you
don't have
know
to get
what?
much into it, but
It kind of evolved because, I did have so many years under my belt and, a lot of new agents were coming into the industry. So everyone was coming to me anyway with
Okay.
all the questions.
Yep.
And, the broker there left. So that's when I took it over.
what year was that?
It was at least about 6 years ago, between 6 and 7 years ago.
What's the difference between, and this is going to be a silly question, but important, I think. What's the difference between the job that you were in, and I know it's children and dealing with children and the real estate? Like, what made you drive towards the real estate? Was it the cash? Was it?
Well, definitely at the time, and in childcare, the income, you really were not doing it for the income for sure, and it was just out of love for the kids. But I saw the opportunities in real estate to build a business, and actually dealing with children and taking so many psychology classes and philosophy, it's helped me deal with people and and agents on different levels. Everyone has different personalities, so. Definitely where it would seem like my college degree didn't, wasn't what I went into. It helps tremendously in this business.
It has
for
to,
sure.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think being a police officer helped me too. Deal with people and just on a day-to-day basis, you stay away from this, stay away from that. You got your.
Right, and
on
you
your
find
gut.
a way. You have to have a middle ground and
That's right.
help people individually.
Yeah, it's an interesting transition, I think, from where you went, but it's common. I say, like, a lot of school teachers, cops,
Yes,
you
yes.
know, healthcare, everybody rolls into, not everybody, but a select few roll into the real estate business and do very well in it. Then you got some that just do very poorly in it too because they're not trained well. There's,
Training is key,
it's very
absolutely
key.
key.
And people don't realize that, especially this day and age, because if you get trained poorly, the fines are just amazing. Because when we got into it, it wasn't like today, where you get a fine for something. The fine's costing you what, anywhere from 10 to 50 grand in some of these
At
fines.
least,
It's insane. The do not call. I think there was somebody just hit with
20,000 per phone call.
20,000.
Per phone call.
Came out to like 14 million or something like that, right?
Yes. And that was fairly local, from what I understand.
Yes.
I don't know exactly, but from what I hear, it was in our region for sure.
That's insane.
And it's no joke.
Yeah,
It's no joke.
it's not. Yes.
And it falls on the agent to pay those fines. So you have to really, and that's why we push the right way to lead generate. And that's what's great about Keller Williams also. You have so many other ways besides cold calling to build your business.
God bless. If you could afford that, God bless.
I can't.
I can't either. That's going to hurt. 14 mil or whatever it comes out to. Even if
So-
they drop it down to a quarter of a million, it's still going to hurt.
Right. Well, I know some were robocalls, so they got charged for every single call that was part of do not call. Well, we have two things. You can't cold call in New York right now.
Yep.
And then on top of that, anyone you do call, if they're not on, if they're on the do not call list, you're getting banged if you get reported.
Wow. It's insane.
It's
a
a
lot different than
fortune. It's a
when we
fortune.
did business.
100%.
So much different than when I was out there on the.
But they let you door knock.
They let you do it now.
That doesn't mean you can't call them, but you go knock on them.
I'm not going to door, just bother them during dinner, show up to their house.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me, though.
It doesn't make sense to me either. And I always say, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just, I don't believe, I don't agree with a lot, some of these laws and rules, but
So you could
they're there.
door knock, but you can't call.
And NYSAR has been fighting to get realtors off that list in a state of emergency.
But I don't know what, because the last one I remember was, what's it now? What's the state of emergency now? The storm?
There's been gun violence, which might still be one of them.
What does that
As
have to do
long
with phone
as-
calls?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I know we argued about this, and
Yeah.
you can't change it, but it's silly.
Exactly. So, we first got involved with this with COVID.
Yep.
And everyone was so happy when COVID state of emergency was dropped. But it turns out that even if there's one state of emergency in New York, we are under that do not solicit list. And
That's
it
so
was
interesting.
health insurance, gun violence. So unfortunately,
In COVID, you would think COVID that people would entertain phone calls. They want to talk to somebody.
that's what
Right.
you would think. But I could see, during COVID, I actually could see the point. If people,
Oh,
there
me
were so
too.
many sick people, let them heal. And
I get it,
yeah,
but and again, I'm not going to get into the political part of COVID or anything like that because you know me, I could care less either way. It's just not my thing. I agree with it. I don't. I'm Switzerland, like I always am, right?
Well, there's definitely pros and cons and
yeah.
ups and downs and everything.
You can whiteboard everything,
Right.
and you'll come out with an answer either way.
Right.
But again, some of the shit that gets done in this world just doesn't make sense anymore. Gun violence, so you can't make a phone call.
But you can knock on their door.
But you can knock on their door. But okay, so what if I have a gun and I'm
Right,
knocking on their door?
Yeah.
But what if
I
they have a
know.
gun and they don't like people knocking on their door?
And I'll be honest, when people knock on my door, I don't answer it. I pretend I'm
I
not home.
wouldn't
It's
answer
not
the doors.
something I want to do.
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna. Who's that? I'm not gonna go out there. It's funny. I met a realtor back in the day. I lived in Whitestone, and my daughter was in the pool with me. We're hanging out, and I'm not gonna mention the guy's name. He'll know who he is. We're friends, and he was a Keller agent. But he walks into my backyard when I'm in my pool, and he wants to sell my house. And I didn't tell him I was a realtor at the time. I was still with America's Bravest at the time. And I just let him go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I had him sitting there for, I don't know, 2 hours. I gave him a burger, had a beer, told them I'm really interested in selling, and just got them going, and then finally just told him, oh, the only problem is I'm a realtor, and I think I could do this myself. He's so pissed off. He got so mad. But then it was kind of interesting. Another agent who worked with us got my next door neighbor's listing, and this is when I was way at it. I was already up, where I live now. What Dave said last week, I think it's Allmark where I live, and he said, calls me up and he asks, should I list with this guy or should I go with you? And of course I gave Glenn the heads up to go do it and take the listing, but he put it on the market for $1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he got 1 point something for the house.
Amazing.
It was crazy how he did it, and it was a new strategy. He was trying to they were both worked on it, and they liked the idea, and he went there and he put the house on at $1, and it just became crazy. And the house was worth back then probably 1.1, 1.2, and I think it went over the 1.5 if I'm not mistaken.
Amazing.
It was a really smart play over there. But I remember calling him. I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? Putting it on for $1? I'll give you 2 right now. You doubled your profit, But the strategies that they came into the business because, and in that area to get things sold, it was just, it was crazy. And he had at that time, I think, he said he had in one day, I think he had 350 showings.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that should be illegal. That's the stuff that they should crack down on. But again, it's interesting what's become because it wasn't like that when we got into the business. Nobody really told us what to do. We just sold houses, and it was
Well, there were a lot less regulations. I remember when the lead paint disclosure
Remember that? And everybody
came
was
in.
up
We
in
had a
arms.
whole big class about the
right.
lead paint form. And
I wasn't in the industry. I was working for my aunt at the time because that came in early 2000s, right? If I'm not mistaken, late
Yeah, I
90s,
believe so.
early 2000s, and then they changed that a couple times, right? When it first came in.
The lead paint disclosure changed recently for the city and
Yep.
its boroughs. Like now, houses built in the
Anything
60s
after-
have to have actual inspections
That's
done
right.
now.
And then anything after, was it 1978?
Right, anything built after 1978 is exempt.
That's right. And then, so how long are you doing compliance now? 6 years, 7 years, 8 years?
Yeah, so with Massapequa going on 7 years, and with the Woodbury office for a little over a year, since August 2024.
Wow. Did
When
you ever
all
see
of
yourself
the-
doing that, or like when you got into the business, did you ever? And I know you said you were always helping them anyway, so it didn't matter. But
Right, well, I was definitely looking for some growth and some opportunities to give back to agents what I was looking for as an agent and what I got as an agent. Because you need that. You need to have somebody supporting you and guiding you, because a lot of agents they want to focus on their business.
yeah, that's right.
So,
And what do you see the market going now on a business size? Where are you looking at it now? Like if you get back into sales and you start doing sales, where do you see the market going, in your opinion?
I still think it's going to be a strong market, definitely. Listen, the listings I've had sold 40,000 over price, and within 2 weeks. But I still see that I think the market's going to stay strong just because we still have inventory issues.
Okay.
And
When do you think that's going to change? You think it will change?
I think it's going to be a gradual change. I don't think it's going to be a big drop like everybody thinks.
I
I
agree.
think it'll be, and really it's kind of, when you look at the cycles, it's not really that different. You see it go up and slightly. I think the last time we had a big drop was 2007.
2007 was.
2007, 2008 was when
I
everything.
think we went to
pretty
4
crashed.
million homes sold in 2007, 2008, right?
That's when they had the whole crisis with the loans.
The loans, right? And I think before that it was 91, right? In the 90s.
Well, I got in 93, so you could be right.
Yeah,
I
where
got
it
in
was.
93. It was just going up, but same thing, like mortgage rates were 7%. But people later that got into it later on, we had those historic lows at 2.5%, 3%, and now when they're 7%, everyone's freaking out. But they used to be even worse than that.
But with the interest rates, everybody is sitting there saying, well, it's a low interest rate. People aren't going to get out of the house. For the right prices, they would get out, right? So, again, people are going to have to sell eventually, right?
Yeah, and it also depends on where they're going. They may be going to a state where it's cheaper.
That's right.
So it's gonna be a wash, the rate or the less price.
I don't see the property values coming down. I
I
really
don't see it either, or if it does, like I said, I think it's gonna be gradual, but I don't think it's gonna tank like people think.
I thought it was interesting when I was looking recently just to look at homes. The realtor I was talking to was, what would you do with your house? And my answer was probably keep it and give it to the kids because it's so hard for them to, to find a home right now. And you might start seeing that. I think you'll see a lot more of that because if I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are thinking about the same thing. And, hopefully give it to them free and clear and, don't mortgage the shit out of it to buy the other house and you give it to them so they don't have to pay for it. But I think that's where you're going to see a lot of new inheritance for this new group because it's so hard for them to go out and buy right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. Even to rent is hard for
insane. And that's why you're seeing so many kids, I think, staying at home until they're 30, 35, they're living in a freaking house. It's borderline insane because I had friends out of the house at 18 when we were growing up.
Right.
Right? They were moving out at 18. I was out at 24. And when I was from 20 to 24, I was never home. I was a cop, so I was just always out, working or partying or doing whatever. So we were never home anyway. So it didn't matter where you laid your head. Sometime laid it in my car in the precinct, in the lounge. But today's day and age, it's not like that.
Totally different. I bought a co-op in 98 for $87,000. It was in Long Beach.
I remember
but at the time, everyone said, "Don't buy a co-op. Were you crazy? Don't buy a co-op." And I said, "Listen, I have the ocean view.
I'm buying the co-op.
Worst case scenario, it's going to sell before something else." And I sold it in 2004 for $322,000.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And that's when the prices started going up.
I'm not looking to trump you. We bought in 97. You said 97?
98, yeah.
98. We bought in 97. We bought a townhouse, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath condo townhouse in Brewster. We paid $170. Right? Interest rate was around 7 at the time, and that was good credit.
Right.
My father-in-law put up the money for us to buy the down payment. So because me and his daughter was just getting started, we didn't really have much. By the way, I still owe it to him, so hopefully he's not listening to this. So then I think in 99 or 2000, because they just put that new tax law in where if it was your primary residence and you stayed over 2 years, you didn't have to pay any capital gains on the money that you made. So we sold that house in 2 years. I think we got 3 and change for like $350.
Oh, nice.
It doubled over a 2-year period. We bought the house in Mayapack, and we ended up buying like a beautiful 3,500 square foot Center Hall contemporary colonial. Weird design to the house, but I loved it. My wife hated it. My daughter doesn't even remember what it probably looks like because she was still a baby at the time. Amazing views of like the upstate. You would get the views on the other side. So we're on a hill, so you got to see like the Catskills or whatever was on that side, the Dutchess, whatever the hell's there. But it was amazing. It was just very, very nice views. We're up high. My address was Nicole Way, I think it was. Oh no, Katie Court. Nicole Way is where I turned down. It was Katie Court, and it was just like 4 or 5 houses that were secluded, and I had like. One of the guys was the head of Bank of America in there at the time. One of the top people at Bank of America. The VP of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, wow.
And then there was another big cat that lived, and then me. And it was established. We had a guest house on my property, and it was frowned upon renting it. But I rented it. I didn't give a fuck. Screw it. If I got it, I'm not going to stay in there. And my dream was to turn that into a gym for myself.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up living in it at the end because when we closed on the house and moved to Whitestone, a couple of years later, because we didn't get attached to homes, we doubled our price again. But the house we bought in Melbourne, Whitestone, we got it from it was an REO from a hard money lender. And the house was worth a lot of money. I'm not gonna tell you how much, but we paid 6 and change in that area. That's
Wow.
back then that was a cheap price for the house. When we sold, we almost doubled our profit again. So every year we would double. Now that one was a little off because we bought it cheap, so it was easy to double. We probably went over a little doubling it. And then the minute I bought in Westchester, that was my last home because the kids were, my daughter was growing, getting ready for school. Nikki was on the way. And I said, okay, we're staying. This is if I have a house. It was out of where I live or Rye. We were going to one of those two. And we chose where we live. And the market tumbled literally 2 weeks after we closed.
Oh, wow, after you close.
Right after we closed, the property value dropped by 20%. And I remember just sitting there going, fuck, if I just waited 2 weeks, if we didn't rush and we didn't have to get out of that little freaking house. But at the end of the day, we would have still paid. We would have still bought it because it was pretty close to it. We put all of it down, basically, so we didn't have to worry about that. And I said it didn't affect us because we're not selling. So it didn't matter.
Well, exactly. And you know what? And that's what Mark King said. He said, don't wait to buy and wait.
That's it. That's what you do.
And that was the huge takeaway from that.
And I don't know where that went because, till to this day, everybody's saying, the prices are going to drop. Everybody's been saying that for how long?
And it hasn't.
It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Unless you can find more land out there, and I don't think that's possible.
Not around here.
It just doesn't, It's just something that was interesting, off topic here. I don't know if you ever noticed this. I was talking to a buddy. Cemeteries. How don't they run out of space? The home market does.
It's so true.
How do cemeteries don't
So
run out
true.
of space? Like, what happens? It's weird, right?
It is, but I'll tell you, I think recently, at least where my parents are, they're both buried in Jersey. I just see stones getting closer and closer together.
Yeah, they get much closer together, but I guess they're piling
But I
what's
guess,
up.
yeah, and I guess they took up those huge properties so that there would be room eventually for more. But
I guess so, but
it is an interesting
we're
topic.
talking to a buddy of mine who's a realtor, and he's like, wait, if there's no land for us to live, how are we still burying people? It's interesting,
True.
right? Because
It's true.
are they going to start taking more land from us? Right? Because you got to do something with them, right? It's I don't mean to get onto that subject, but it's an interesting
Could also
time.
be why they're now I see a lot of them making the walls, the mausoleums, I guess, and some are cremate. A lot of people choose cremation.
Yeah, I think you'll start going up. They'll start
Yeah.
making, that's what they're going
I've
to have to
seen
do. And then if you watch, what was that TV show that we used to watch? God, what the hell was the name of it? Where they, it's like technology. Julie, what was the name of that show that we love? Black Mirror, with the one with the, you watch that?
No, I've
Oh,
never
watch
seen it.
this. Watch this. They go on that, but it's how technology is. And when you die, you end up going to another place. It's not your soul; it's your mind that goes in, and
Oh,
they
that's
take it and go. And
interesting.
it's computerized, and you live in this area, and you can go from whatever age you want to be at that time. It's pretty cool.
That sounds.
It was really cool. Watch it.
sounds
Yeah, it's
cool.
really interesting. If you have free time, I know you don't. Watch Black Mirror. It's a great freaking show. The only problem is it goes by quick when you watch them all because they
Oh,
only come out
really?
with 5 episodes. They're like little
Well, that's
short
good
movies. Yeah, they're like short. I saw another good one just this weekend, Wayward.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
That was really
I
good
haven't seen
too.
that yet.
That was a good show. You didn't see it, you said?
No, don't tell me.
No, I won't. It's,
I like to be surprised.
it's interesting. You into TV like that, or?
I don't watch too much TV, but Netflix definitely has a lot of good stuff on there.
So, where were you looking to go in the future now? Like, what do you see for yourself?
I definitely like being in a leadership role,
Okay.
and actually want to see what else there is in that realm.
Okay.
But definitely, now that both of my kids are away at school, I've had sole custody of my kids for 17 years.
Wow. God bless.
And now,
Good job.
and and there was like barely any visitation with their dad, so I've
That's
had
sad.
them like 24/7 for a long time. So people ask me now, "Oh, are you okay without them?" Of course I miss them. We have FaceTime, but now it's time to also bring my business back up as well, and that's something I wanted to mention too. I see talking to different agents, and some are new, and some of them think that they'll never be as good as the agents getting awards and everything, and you're successful in what you determine is successful for you. I try and tell agents, if you want to get there, you'll also get there, but even if you're not getting the awards and your clients are happy and you're doing the deals and
That's all that matters.
you're able to negotiate a deal for a buyer or get your seller top dollar, you're successful. Don't stop yourself from moving forward because you think you'll never get to where these other agents are. So
I agree with you 1,000. You've been in my masterminds. Or one of the ways I end it, every one is, look, I believe in every single agent out there. I don't think it's limited. I think it's a little harder, but that's okay. To be an agent today, it's not the way, like I said, when we were coming up, there was only a few people doing what the good agents did back then.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to be one of them, I think. But I do mean this, and I say it all the time. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I'm not knocking myself. It's just the way it is. I'm nothing special compared to anybody else. You're nothing special. No, don't take this the wrong way. You're nothing special compared to everybody else. It's
right.
if you put your heart and soul into this as an agent, you can do very well. And it's just I just think that people just like to beat the shit out of them and beat them up, and I think people like to beat themselves up, and it's so silly. Like I don't get it. You know me. At least I try not to get involved in the drama. I can't do it. It's just it's too hard for me. It's exhausting. I get up already at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm ready to go. Imagine if I had drama in my life. I'd be up at 2 in the morning worrying about shit. Be on Xanax and all other kind of shit. I don't need that in my life. But it's interesting. How they're taught, I guess, puts them in that state of mind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I think that's what we do a good job is we're not teaching that level. We're teaching, hey, be positive. This is what you can do. Learn from your peers and grow on. That's one of the reasons attracted me to Keller so much. And I'm not knocking any other company out there because I respect every business out there. I love my competition. I just always did. I was an athlete growing up, sort of an athlete. At least I thought I was an athlete, but my competitors probably didn't think so. but and all joking aside, I love my competitors because those are the ones that keep you going. If it's not for them, you're doing shit. You compete against each other and you top each other. The one good thing I never did was take anything personal. I just go and do it and never. And I think that's what helped me do what I did to get to where I'm at, and that's easy to do.
Well, especially you have the culture in the market centers and all of the trainings from A to Z. Like there's nothing that's not available to you.
Correct.
So
I remember when we came up, it wasn't like this. You walked into an office, there was uptime. Remember that?
The uptime.
The uptime, and you basically sat there at your desk, and you covered everything that you had. When I first came to Keller, I was amazed when I walked into my office. I was like, hey, where's my lock?
Well, there were no databases. Everything was like a card, an index card with someone's name and phone number.
And if you left voice messages on the machine, I know the guy sitting out there now, Joe DeVito, took advantage of it when he took over my office. There was a bunch of messages, probably a bunch of listings.
Yeah, we used to have the little ring with the messages. The secretary put in our mailbox.
Make him believe he doesn't hear me because he knows it's true. He owes me a bunch of money on those referrals. But it's crazy. It didn't matter back when we got there with Keller. We were helping each other because we wanted to see each other win.
Exactly.
And I think that was a big part of turning it. And that's where you got the angle where it was an agent-centric business now. We got agent-centric. When we came in, it was more broker-centric, obviously. Not going to talk about mergers or anything like that, which just went on, but I think you're going back to where it's broker-centric, agent-centric, and then which one's going to be the one that stands up and wins, because I don't see it going any other way. What's your thoughts on that? You agree with me, disagree with me?
No, I agree. Listen, with Keller Williams, you could be whatever you want to be, and it's what works for you. And, you know, if
Within
you're-
the guidelines of doing everything the right way.
the right way, exactly, because I'm always going to be there to check.
Please.
But doing things the right way, but, you know, finding out for yourself, what are you comfortable at? And as long as you're making what you're comfortable at, it's a win. It's a win-win. Some people want to make more to be comfortable. So, you know, with the masterminds, all the classes that are given, the in-office trainings where you have people that specialize in certain things, I just tell agents, just don't expect to absorb it all in one shot.
Yeah.
Start with something, work on it. There's always people to help and guide you, and I think a lot of agents feel that coming in.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing, and I'm proud of that. That's the one thing I always want to keep, no matter what happens with the way the world is going. It's going to be interesting the next couple of years in our industry, though. It's going to be really interesting. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be on the upside. I think but I'm always a half glass full type of guy. I don't think you're ever going to see me. At least I hope not. Where kicking rocks and saying the world's ending and I'm done, and I just don't think that way. There's always a way out of something.
Yes, I think out of the box also, and I always take the positive side of it. And even with people, I always look at the good things and focus on that.
That's all you could do. Because if you go the other way, like I said, you just drive yourself crazy because everything sucks, right? Everybody's out to get you and this. And I think that's what holds people back, most people back. And doesn't matter where you are. I just think that's in life. It doesn't matter if you're in the real estate business, the mortgage business, the police
Absolutely.
officer. It's in life in general, where if you're going to sit there and think negative all the time, you're going to get negative results. I can't do that.
Self-fulfilling prophecies. It's mindset,
all it is.
and what you're committed to, and that's what you focus on.
That's it.
And whatever's going to happen in the industry,
Gonna happen.
It's been happening for all these years. Just keep doing your business the way you're doing your business.
And at the end, I would rather be coached the way I'm saying it, at least my opinion, and there's other people out there, than in other ways. Wrong information, this, that. It just doesn't make sense to go down that road. And that's why I respect the job that you're doing. I thank you for doing it every day, protecting my ass, protecting the agent's ass, because it's important. We need that. Because, again, you got a lot of schlep rocks out there that do a lot of crazy shit, and I don't want to get hit with that fine.
Absolutely.
It's a big number. But I do look, it's been over an hour. Great talk. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
It
you
was awesome.
for having me here.
Went by very quick, like always. Best advice you can give to an agent coming in?
Talk to experienced agents, take as many training sessions as possible, watch videos, listen to podcasts. The more information you have, listen, I've been doing this since 1993. I still go to things that agents do because there's always something to learn. And people ask me how I know so much, and it's because I've always just gone to anything and everything. You can always pick up one thing. I don't claim to know everything, but I do learn something from everything I attend. Even if it's one thing, increase your business.
Great advice. Thanks so much for coming in. So love you, hon.
Thank you.
Thank you.